Our goals for these calls are to help people to retire within 10 years. We understand that, you have a job, you went to college, you went to school, you love your job. Nobody's saying there's nothing wrong with a job. We're saying that, hey, why work for 40, 30, 20 years if you don't have to, right? Why do that if you don't have to? So we're trying to challenge you to say, hey, let's take your income from your job, invest your money into some education, and then use 10% of whatever number you do. I do 10% of my salary, my monthly salary, go to the side for investment, for education, for yeah, investment education, right? Nothing else to say about that. So if you could do that every month, make your money make money, and you find ways to keep your money going, then you're in a good shape. And that's our goal, is to show you how to do that. Nothing I teach is nothing I haven't done, right? Everything I teach is what I've done. So literally been having two jobs all my life. I would send one check to a whole new bank, another bank, and with my regular check, I will live off of it. The extra check that went to the extra bank, that's what I used to buy my girlfriend gifts off of. That's what I used to buy my toys off of, my down payment on cars, or that's my money when I want to lend some money out to someone. Right. So being a good steward of money is very important. And I'm teaching you a little trick that I did. However, as a kid, real estate always stuck out to me. Real estate was one of those things that I saw people taking advantage of folks in my neighborhood, my community. And I said, you know what? When I grow up, I'm going to give back to my communities. I'm going to give back to these communities like that I grew up in. And I'm going to give them a great product, regardless of their welfare check, regardless of their lifestyles. I'm going to give them a great check, right? I mean, a great house. And I'm going to get the government to pay me for it. Smart man told me, if you want to make guaranteed money, partner with the government, right? If you want to make guaranteed money, partner with the government. The government never lose. So Section 8 housing is what I like to specialize in. I do have several houses not on Section 8. However, I do make sure I have a home in those communities that people that's on Section 8 housing live in. They can definitely apply for my houses, right? And I would definitely take them over a cash buyer if that's the option, because the government is going to pay you. Cash buyers may pay you, right? So 5-figure formula. My goal is to help people make 5 figures a month. So I met my goal of having 10 properties. Really, I wanted 5 properties in 5 years, but I'm over that number, definitely over that number. But I got 10 properties in 5 years. So when I superseded my expectations, I said, you know what? How the best thing in life is to teach other people. And I am a school teacher by trade, which you're gonna find out. Now, I have partnered with people smarter than me, like this young man, Coach Joe. Coach Joe, I never met him in college, but he did go to Grambling State University as well as I did. However, he's mutual friends. We have a mutual friend that says, man, all y'all talk about is real estate. Y'all need to meet each other. Never met Joe until 2 years after I gave him, I think, 10 grand. I think I gave him 10 grand or 5 grand. I gave him 5 grand. I gave him 5 grand on a private money lending deal. It came back to be 20 grand when he gave me my money back. I literally took my son when he turned 21 to Las Vegas and had a time of our life off the money I made off of Joe. So true story, dude hooked me up with a deal. He just needed some private money. Told me, if you give me this money, I'll give you this in this amount of time that he's supposed to take. So he gave me a bonus. He gave me a couple extra $1,000 based off of that. Um, Squared away, man. Love working with him because he do fix and flips. I do burr. We got similar characteristics, but he's hands-on. I'm hands-off. I do not touch stuff. I am lazy. I do want to touch it. I don't want to negotiate it. I don't like doing none of that, guys. I really give people great deals. When I buy their houses, I make it where they got to say yes. And I still get it a deal. I don't try and take advantage of people, man. That's just bottom line, right? So Joe, I'm not gonna say he tried to take advantage of anybody. I would never say that. But Joe know how to say things in such a way that you give it to him. You just give him your property, subject to. He's a subject to king. So the guy got several houses subject to. When he started the business, he had less houses than me, but now he got triple the numbers of houses I have because he bought them at such a cheap deal. All right. So love working with this guy and be because I work with him, I learned so much. As I spoke earlier, I'm a school teacher by trade. I went to school in high school to be a teacher. So I already knew what I want to do all my life. And I went to college to be a teacher and I graduated. So since I'm a teacher, I became a coach, became a driver's ed teacher, and a sports official and all other stuff. I have been mentoring people since I've been a kid. All right, I'm that kid that used to be in school and the bully used to bully people and that people come get me and I used to say, hey man, leave them alone and that stop, right? That's been my life all my life since I've been elementary. So I love helping people and assisting people with their dreams and their goals and helping people to do things. Real estate, like I told you, been a passion of mine since I've been a baby and a baby. And when I say that, I mean that. Playing Monopoly was my first love. Playing Life was my second love. I loved it and I just grew into it and I stayed with it. Now, this part right here, I got a book called Why Wait to Be Great, Invest Now, Grow Your Future. I got another book called Why Wait to Be Great, Matthias the Ego Achieving It All. In my life, I had so many bad things happen around me, but I never look at it as bad. I look at it as, hey, how can I capitalize off this? How can I find a silver lining in this? And what did God do for me to go through this so I could be better? So it never happened to me, it happened for me. And I believe that wholeheartedly. So that's how I got where I'm at, from an E1 to a lieutenant colonel in the military, from a kid from the neighborhood that used to be bad as heck and get paddled every day to an unenrolled valedictorian high school graduate and other accolades, right? So that's a little bit about me. So that's who's talking to you right now. Real estate. Why real estate? It's so many benefits, it's ridiculous. I can honestly say that real estate is the gift that keep giving. Now, do it come with its flaws? It does. I'm not going to ever tell somebody it's not a struggle every day to deal with people kicking people out of their houses, calling constables, calling marshals. I'm not going to say that's nice. I don't like doing it. I'm a loving person. I don't want to kick nobody out their house. However, if you don't pay, you can't stay. If you don't pay, you can't stay. And I learned very quickly to stop giving people so much leeway. Well, not so quickly. It took me like 3, 4 years before I learned that lesson. I paid a lot of those bills, and I'm still paying for those bills. However, I got a little bit better at doing my paperwork faster, quicker, and getting these folks out of my house. All right, so real estate. Guys, you cannot tell me that your great-great-grandma house costs the same amount of house now. What your great-grandma bought her house for, which like was your dad, your great-granddad, what he bought that house for back in 1919 compared to what that house will cost now is not the same. So when anybody say that real estate don't appreciate, they lying to you. That's absolutely a lie. Anything you buy in real estate is going to appreciate. It's going to appreciate, period. There's no doubt about it. I don't care if it's just land. It's not going to cost the same amount, right? It's going to go over time, going to go higher. Do they have dips and drops? Yes, they do. Don't sell then. Keep your property. Hold on to it a little while longer. You don't sell stocks when everything drop. You hold on to it and go through the river, and then once it lift back up, then you get rid of it. You unload it. Equity. Guys, I leverage equity through Burr. I love to buy houses with cash, right, from wholesaling. So I wholesale like 4 properties. The money I make from that wholesale properties, I keep that money. I use that money to buy properties. So I already have instant equity because I bought a house with OPM, other people money, right? So that's the 5-figure formula. We try and teach you how to make 10 grand a month through wholesaling. All right, you do that 5 months, you got 50 grand. 50 grand, you can go buy your first rental property with your sweat equity, the work you did. So what I do is I buy a house that's worth 100 grand, right, for maybe like 40 grand. So I got $60,000 worth of equity thing. Now I go and add a bedroom to it. I go and add a bathroom to it, a half a bath, at least a minimum half a bath, and a bedroom to it. Now that house is worth 120 grand probably just for doing that. Now, if I put central air and heat and all that stuff in there, it's worth 120 grand easily. So I bought it for 40,000. The house was worth 100,000 when I bought it. I added to it a bedroom, a half a bath, and a central air and heat. Now it's worth 120 grand. You see how much money I put a little money in. That bathroom probably cost me, whatever the cost of a bathroom usually costs $7,500. I can get it done for about 5 grand, right? Central air and heat usually costs maybe the average person about 15 grand. I can get it done about 7 grand, maybe 8,500 on the top end, only because I do so many properties. I keep spending money. I keep giving them business. So they give me great deals and I can shop around and people don't mind giving me the best deal possible because they want my business and they know I'm going to continue business. And since I'm coaching and mentoring others, then guess what? They get more business based off of me, right? So what causes that 20 grand only cost me maybe like 10 grand, right? Maybe like, yeah, 10 grand. All right. So that's still, I'm winning. I'm winning, right? And then I go and refinance the house. I do all that work and I refinance, a cash out refinance. I pay all those loans off. I pay all the contractors off. And then I pay myself. I slap myself in the back and say, I got 20 grand off of this deal. So instead of doing a fix and flip where I sell it to somebody else and I make 20 grand, I do a fix and keep, and I keep the 20 grand in my pocket. And I use that money as another down payment on another house. That's how I do it, guys. I'm not holding it back because I want you to do it. You can go do it. I wish you would go do it because I want you to have that good news story that you're doing it. Real estate cash flow. So if I have a house that 100 grand, if you do the 1% rule on 100 grand, that's $1,000 a month rent you can charge. If you charge a 1,000 a month rent on that house, a mortgage on 100 grand, if you put 20 grand down, you got 20 grand of equity in there, so that's 80 grand alone. So your loan amount will be probably about $400 a month, maybe five. Your insurance maybe $100. So let's say 600, and let's say your license. I mean your taxes. Let's say that's $50. So we at 650, and maintenance and upkeep and repairs. Let's say that's another $50. So we're at $700. And let's say you're one of those people saying, I want a property manager. That's 10%. All right. So 10% of $1,000, that's $100. So $800. $800 all in, you're making $200 cash flow. $200 a month, you're making cash flow. So $200 a month you put in your pocket because you accounted for taxes, you accounted for insurance, you accounted for a property manager, and you accounted for maintenance. You don't fix on a house every month, especially if you just remodeled it. If you just you buy it, you rehab it, you rent it out, you refinance it, and you repeat it over and over again. If you do all your work up front like I do, you don't have any problems with your house. I put brand new hot water tanks in, brand new HVACs in, brand new. If the plumbing is bad, I will replace the plumbing. If the walls are all jacked up, go and replace my plumbing in my bathroom at least. If the kitchen, if you can get to it without messing up too much stuff, go ahead and replace that. I don't have time for phone calls. I don't have time to stop. I don't like to work. I like to be smart and I like to keep moving. Guys, that's how I do business. All right, maybe tax deduction. So you work your 9 to 5, you make a lot of money. When I was active duty military, I was making 12 grand a month. I was a freaking major in the military. And with BAQ and BAH and all that mess, I'm making $12,000 a month. Man, $12,000 a month is a lot of freaking money, right? It's a lot of freaking money. And because of that, if I put that money in the bank and if I keep that money, then guess what Uncle Sam gonna do? Say, oh, you're a single male with 4 kids and you're making 120 grand a month. And we have a lady out here that have 10 kids and no husband, and she's on Section 8. And we have this man over here on disability, and we have all these people that need your money, and we'll take it from you to give to them. Right? No, you're not going to do that. What I'm going to do is invest my money every month into a raggedy busted up house. And I'm going to take a loss because every time I buy a house, that's a loss on my doggone tax return. It's a doggone loss. If I put 20 grand on a house, that's 20 grand down. That still is savings account. That still is equity building. That still is cash flowing. And I'm making money off my money. I used my military money that I was making at $12,000 a month. I was reinvesting my money every month into regularly busted up houses, buying land, buying houses, because all that's showing I'm spending the money. I don't have the money. So at the end of the year for my tax return, instead of me saying I made all this money, I'm showing you how much money I spent. I absolutely made a lot of money. Absolutely made a lot. But I spent a whole lot more than I made. But it's all in a different savings account. It's not the bank. It's in the house. It's in an asset, right? And the asset bring back more money. Great retirement plan. Guys, if I'm buying houses, I'm 40 some years old, all right? I'm in my early 40s, for a matter of fact. If I'm 40 some years old and I got 10 properties, and I bought 10 properties at 40 some years old, and I let the tenant stay in that thing for 20 years, I'm now 60 years old. 60 years old. That house is 20 years paid down. So at 20 years, at 60 years old, what would I do? Can I take a line of credit out for all the equity that's in that house? Can I do a a sale on a house and sell them all and get the money and pay all that damn capital gain? Nope, I'm not selling my house. I'm the line of credit against all my houses, and now I got cash available to do whatever the heck I want to do. If I want to go to Vegas, I can go. If I want to go to Paris, I can go. If I want to go to Timbuktu, I can go because I have a line of credit, cash available that I can go spend. That the tenant gonna pay it back. Guys, this is the retirement strategy. That's what my retirement strategy is. I want to have so many properties that's paid off through the tenants, the equity that's built up in there. When I decide I want to go somewhere, I don't have to worry about if I got money in the bank. I got it. Ain't no doubt about it. I got a line of credit on all my properties. Or I can consolidate the line of credit and have a $2 million line of credit, a $5 million line of credit. Don't believe me, guys. Go and do your research and your homework. Do what you got to do. I already put investing now. If you want to book a call me, oh no, I didn't. I'm lying. I did. Investing now. 2021.com. You can go to my website and book call me if you're interested in learning more, hearing more, understanding this a little bit better. I'm going through it a little fast, but it's pretty cut and dry. It's so simple, right? Now, some people do go and get their houses in trust so that they can leave them over to their kids. So if something happens to them, they have enough insurance on them, they pay them all off. And now you can have the gift to keep giving for your family. And I will be putting all my houses in one big, huge trust later on, or maybe 3 or 4 trusts, depending on how many I have, right? But I do have 4 kids and I do have houses. They have several houses just for them. That's what's in my will, right? And that's what I'm about. We have to leave our kids better than what we did when we were growing up. So I put a plan in place that I can do that now. And I did a plan in place where I can live my YOLO, my best life. You only got one life to live, and I'm living my best. And I want to do what God told me to do, is help as many people as possible. So I'm coaching, teaching, and mentoring other people so they can do the same. You don't need a lot of money to invest in real estate. You don't. You really don't. You need knowledge, you need experience, and you need time. You need a lot of time if you ain't got a lot of money. If you got a lot of money, you don't need a lot of time, right? Because you can pay somebody to do all the work for you. However, you do need to hustle. You do need to understand common sense, and you need to make sure that you have a partner around you that you can ask questions and lean on and run stuff by. Right? If you have those things in place, you can be successful in real estate. Again, I like to teach folks to wholesale first. Get your capital up, get your money up, and then use the money from your wholesale deals to buy your first rental. That's what I like to teach folks. Don't spend your hard-earned money. Now, the second part of it is, if you make a lot of money at work, I say invest your money from your job, your W-2 job, into real estate, and that's a different savings account. That's all I would say about that. You have many more options. That's just a few of them, guys. It's so many options, it's ridiculous. All right, let's go to the next slide. So strengths, opportunities. So, the SWOT analysis. For your strengths, guys, you got to have some kind of negotiating skills. I don't have great skills in negotiation. I'm an honest person. I'm a straightforward shooter. I set the deal up that is so sweet that you can't say no, right? When I present the deal to you, you're going to be liking my deals, because at the end of the day, you in a predicament that you don't want the house. So I know you don't want the house. So why try and beat you upside your head? No, you don't want your house. I want your house. How can we make this a win-win-win so that you don't feel like I cheated you and I don't feel like you cheated me? Let's go. And once you do that with somebody, they're willing to work with you. But if you come there trying to slick talk them and all that crap, they don't want to talk to you. And they'll turn you off and they'll block. Increase property values. Guys, whenever I go in my communities that I invest in, I'm literally making the houses property value go up. I take the raggedy, busted up house on the block that people throw bodies in, that people shoot up in, that people doing drugs in, that people may get raped in, that people maybe playing hide go seek and stepping on nails and getting toe man paws. I take those busted up, disgusted houses and I make them a beautiful product. I make it a living product that everybody on the neighborhood street said, I want to live in that house. People renting from other people want to move out of their rent house and want to move into my house. That's what I do. Now I just made the property value go up. It did cost me some money, but I did make all my money back. All right. So that's enough for that one. We're gonna go over here to opportunities. Guys, when I tell you pre-foreclosures, man, me and Coach Joe is busting heads on these pre-foreclosures right now. We're finding people behind on their loans and we're taking over their houses subject to. I told him when I retired from the military, this is what I'm gonna do. I started doing subject to deals then. I started 2 years before that. I got two houses before that on the subject to, but they was handed down to me. It was a soldier that moved out of town and she didn't want to deal with real estate agents. And I was in Virginia, she was in Mississippi, and she said, I just listened to your walk and talk, and I heard you talking on Facebook, Why Wait to Be Great Community, and I called you at 12 o'clock at night, and I said, I got you, don't worry about nothing, we'll get you taken care of. I took over her house subject to, it's a $271,000 house. I got it for 170,000. $271,000 house. I got it for 170, and she's happy, pickle tink. I mean, tickle pink. That's what they say, tickle pink. She excited as hell about it because she didn't want to deal with nobody else, and she getting what she want out of it. Another young man I just met not too long ago, we actually got this short sale going on. His house was in pre-foreclosure first. We worked the deal as a pre-foreclosure subject to. We found the way. It was a lot of things going on with the property. No air conditioning. Somebody stole the compressor. Holes in the roof, holes in the ceiling. The bathroom was outdated. The kitchen was outdated, roaches, rats, everything in that house. It was horrible. So we got on a short sale. So I should be closing that house in late September, and I'm getting it for 20 grand. 20 grand. The house is worth 130 grand. The house is worth 130 grand. I had it under contract for subject to for 60K for what he owed on it. But because the house was in such bad shape, I said, man, let me do this contract for 20 grand for a short sale and let the appraiser tell me how much I can buy it for. That's what we're doing. So I'm going to skip past that and go over to weaknesses. Guys, the biggest weaknesses is you got people out there, they got group funds. They got a lot of money out. Well, no, that's the threats. Well, let's say the inventory. So inventory can be weak and the inventory go up and down. Lack of capital would be the biggest one. You feel like, hey, you don't have any money, you can't get started. And that is true. You kind of in a hole, but money's out there. You can use other people's money. If a deal is a deal, you can use other people's money. That's how Coach Joe got me. I never met Coach Joe until 3 years later in the St. Thomas. Coach Joe told me, so 2018 when I met Coach Joe. 2020, 2019, I want to say we did a deal together. I met Coach in 2021 during COVID-19 in St. Thomas. He said, hey, bro, if you get your flight over to St. Thomas, I will feed you, house you, and do everything else. And we'll talk business the whole time. Got all the pictures to show it. We did that. I flew to St. Thomas, hung out with Coach Joe. First time meeting him after I already gave him money and made money off of him. Never met him a day in my life, right? So low capital is a thing. Lack of capital is a thing, but you can, if you got a great deal, somebody would lend you money on a private money deal and help you out. Now, hedge funds, what I'm going to say, we got too many folks, man, out here competition, man. You got folks hedging their money. They put their money in groups, and they're buying up the blocks, and they're buying the houses. Right now in Shreveport, we got 50 Cent buying a lot of land, buying a lot of houses. He's doing a lot down there, and hey, I'm not worried about him, but it's definitely going to be a concern in the future. I'm trying to get wherever he's buying at, I'm buying around where he's buying at. So if he's buying in one zip code, I'm going to the zip codes around it and getting the ones around it. I'm doing a smart way. And I'm on YouTube. I should be telling this on YouTube live what the hell my strategy is, but I'm giving it away, guys. I'm giving it away. If you listen, you learn, you go and react. But I don't want to compete with him, but I do want to take the leftovers, the people that can't afford what they can afford whenever they bit raising prices. So I take the skimmish ones, right? So that's my policy. I said, look at what he's doing. All the pictures of the things they remodeled, the apartments and complex, they all on the internet. So I look at the pictures, I go and remodel the house as similar as possible, but cheaper, cheaper, right? So that's my hint, right? So ways to invest in real estate, you could be passive and active. I already told you that. Joe is an active investor. He's hands-on. He uses money. He uses other people's money. He uses hard money. I'm a passive investor. Most of the time, I'm telling folks what to do and I'm spending money on how to do it. I pay a lot of people to do work for me. I don't want to do the work myself. I'm in school working on another master's. I already got a master's in education leadership. I'm working on finance right now. I'm working on marketing right now. I got double concentration masters right now that I'm working on. I'm just retired from the military and I got my son up here. That's why I'm rushing through this call because I'm up here in Virginia spending time with my 2.5-year-old before I go back to school to teach for high school again. I'm going to teach BTW in Shreveport at special ed. I'm going to teach special ed. So I get to learn more stuff about education and I'm excited about it. So I'm a passive investor because I have other things that are more important to me than being active, going to a house, touching a piece of dang wood, touching a hammer, doing anything. I don't want to do that, guys. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I got an uncle and other folks to do that. So I'm passive. Coach Joe is active. That's all that be. Types of real estate investing. You got. Thank y'all. I just got some people book a call with me. I appreciate you. Thank you for doing that ASAP. And I need more people to go ahead and get on my schedule. It's showing up on my cell phone once I book it. I'm glad to know you're in Shreveport, brother. I'm in DMV right now, man. I'm up here in Lorton, Virginia. And for another week, I'll be home. I'm going to New York this weekend. I see somebody in the chat box said that, so I'm going to New York this weekend, taking my mom to New York for her 65th birthday. I'm paying for the trip for her. I paid for her to get up here. We're going to take a Amtrak bus train to New York because we want to drive 5 hours. And thank you. I see you. You just booked again. Somebody else just booked. Thank y'all for booking. Me and my mom gonna go to New York, and my son, my baby, and we're gonna go to Times Square and have the time of my life. I already booked. I used my points off my credit card to book her nice room at the Omni Hotel. Like I said, we're gonna do the Amtrak train. We're gonna fly to, drive right out of DC there, and I'm hoping I can take on a cruise, a night cruise with the dinner, and take it to some of the events down there, guys. Some of the museums, and hopefully I can find something for my baby to do too. That's fun for him. But it's my mom's birthday. I'm paying for the whole trip for her. Thanks to real estate, thanks to her blessing me and birthing me and teaching me to be a young man. That's what I do for my mom. And I hope you could do the same thing for your loved ones, right? So, type of real estate. Sorry for sidebarring that. Rentals, right? So I do rentals, short-term rentals. I never done it. Don't want to do it. Don't want to have that headache. I heard good things about it, great things about it, but I don't want to buy all that furniture, and I don't want to pay monthly bills for something. And when people out, I don't want to manage that on a daily basis like a hotel. So I don't do that. Corporate rentals. If you're got rental properties close to a hospital or close to um oil fields and stuff like that, you actually can call the oil fields or the hospitals and see if they need that use your place as a corporate rental, right? You can equip it with all the clothes, I mean, all the stuff in there and everything in there, and basically you can make a deal with them and they can use your place and keep it rented out and pay you every month, period. So that's a good thing. I am looking at group homes. I am looking to group homes. I do want to have a group home. I do want to do that for the veterans and for people that's getting kicked out of their houses, like kids that's got adopted and then all of a sudden, foster kids and all those people, when they turn a certain age and they're not getting a chick no more, they kick them out the house. I feel bad for them. I do want to have group homes for the people in that case, in that situation. All right. So veterans and foster kids are getting kicked out once they turn a certain age and the people not making money off them anymore. Wholesaling is my bread and butter. I believe in that. Creative finances, I do believe in that. Lease options, I had contracts for lease options. I believe in that. Seller finance, I like to sell all my houses on seller finance to the tenants. That's my other retirement strategy. If I made you pay my whole rent for the last 15 years and then all of a sudden you want to buy it from me, I'm gonna sell it to you. Now you're paying me again, and it's a seller finance. So no per capital, no capital gains. It's seller finance. I'm selling to you over time, right? So it's awesome. Subject to is what I do now. And fix and flip, I don't think I'm gonna do maybe one or two just to learn how to do it and just to do it. But I don't like fix and flip because people are picky. They go in there and talk about dang light switch. They go in there and talk about doggone plug on the wall. Man, I'm like, dude, all this house, you got marble floors, you got marble walls, and you're talking about a light switch. Man, shut up. Nah, so I don't have the patience for that. So that's why I don't want to do that. But I'm gonna do one or two just to say I done them. So that's it, guys. This is actually that's the in brief onto when I teach you the wholesaling blueprint, which is the 5 figure module one, when we're talking about what you do for the step one. That is the briefing for tonight. Coach Joe is in Shreveport, so he didn't join us because he had an eviction to do. He also had a plumbing issue in Shreveport, so he drove from San Antonio this morning to Shreveport. And he also gonna go by my house and make sure the people that Marsha's tomorrow, the Marsha's going by my house to get the people out of my house. So I'm gonna ask Coach Joe to go over there and get the keys from the people or make sure everything cool to come and collect. And then we'll lock the house up since he want to be a hands-on investor. So that's all I got for y'all. What questions do you have? If you have any, you can raise your hand. I can unmute you. You can put them in a chat box. I am currently looking at the chat box. Would love to answer any questions you have. Again, I'm Coach Terrence Williams, T. Williams. Call me anything. Just don't call me late for dinner because I will be on time for that. But we're here to serve. We're here to help. We're here to assist. We want you to be wealthy, and not just through financial wealthy, but through spiritual wealthy, through maturity wealthy. I mean, just, a kind heart, a kind mind goes a long way, right? Steve Harvey said it best. Money don't define you, but having money show you who you really are. So a person that got a lot of money gonna show you who they really are, right? They got a lot of money gonna show you who they really are. So it don't define you, but it show you who you really are. If you go out there and make a lot of money, you can just go out there and splurge it. That's what you do, right? You go out there and get a lot of money, then you go out there and bless other people, then that's what you do. If you get a lot of money, you just go and hoarder it and put it in the bank and just hold it. That's what you do. It defines you, right? You're a genius, man. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That was short, but packed with great information. Appreciate it. Thank you, brother. Look, I've been doing this for a long time, guys. I have been doing this, and I read and study this stuff all day long, all night long. And personal growth and development. Personal growth and development and real estate is all I study. I love it to a T. And thank you for the accolades. I appreciate it. How do you find your properties? So I find properties everywhere. People tell me, first of all, I don't, since people know what I'm doing, and I'm always telling everybody I'm in real estate and I want to help people, I want to help people. Once somebody see a house go vacant, I get folks calling me and saying, hey, here's an address, you may want to check it out. Hey, they go to my mom and say, my mom actually the main person that find most of my properties for me. Facebook is another place. But a lot of her friends are older and they're losing properties, or they know their friends losing properties, and they'll call her and say, hey, don't your son do real estate? And then they'll recommend me, and I'll pull up the address and go from there. Facebook is, a lot of people know my Facebook. They follow me on Why Wait to Be Great, Investing Now and Grow Your Future, or Why Wait to Be Great with LT Williams, or Investing Now, or 5 Figure Formula Communities. People drop deals in there all the time as well. And word of mouth is the main place. I'm telling you, word of mouth. I don't have to go search. People come find them. And then mentors like y'all, when I mentor people like you go find deals and you refer them over, and I pay you referral fees. That's the other way. That's the way, if you live in a different state, this is the way you can still make money through real estate. So that's how I find properties. But word of mouth is the main thing. I do not go search the MLS. I don't have time for that. It's too much. Having 10K to 20K, would that be a good start for capital? With yes, absolutely. You need 20% down. So with real estate, you're doing commercial loans. Commercial loans going to be a minimum of 20% down. So you're going to need, if you're doing $100,000 house, you're going to need 20,000. If you're doing less than $100,000 house, a $50,000 house, you're going to need about it's still, about 10 grand. So yes, because you got to look at closing costs and all that stuff. And let me redact that. On $100,000 house, you need 30 grand. You need 20 grand down, but then you got closing fees and all other stuff. So we always say, hey, have 10% more than whatever the closing cost is. So that's what I would say about that. So yes. Now, as far as you getting a coach or a mentor and teaching, you definitely 10 grand and 20 grand would be great as well. All right. Somebody asked about that 10 to 20 grand would be good. Yes, it would be good. Guys, don't slip on your personal job. I know that you work in your 9 to 5, your W-2 job. Please get on my schedule so I can give you my budget sheet. Figure out how to budget your money with your job and make your money make money. Make that job pay for your investments. The one thing I can tell everybody, my military career has been my biggest investors into my business. I took the money from the military that I earned and I reinvest that money into several houses. If I'm making 120 grand a year, and I'm investing $10,000, $10,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's not say $10,000. Let's see. 12, 1%, 10%. Yeah, $1,200. If I'm saving $1,200 a month and reinvesting at the end of the year, think about if I'm doing it like that. That adds up. It adds up. And once you start working with a lot of people, like accountants, like um insurance company. Oh, thank you. Yeah, somebody asked me how I get properties. My insurance agents refer me deals. They got other people that's ready got the business. They call me and say, "Hey, you want more properties? You're into this." And what I do is with my insurance company, guys, this I'm gonna give y'all some more game. I don't know how much the house gonna cost me insurance wise. So when I get an address, I send it to the insurance company. They tell me how much they're gonna charge me insurance wise. So that tell me about how much my tax is gonna be. It's backwards planning. I just say, okay, hey, I'm looking at this address. Tell me how much it's gonna cost me for insurance on this house. If they run the numbers on there, I know where I'm going to look at my taxes. Then 10% of that going to be taxes because they're going to show you that big old number. Okay, then 10%, boom, taxes. Okay, now I know my numbers. I got my numbers. That's it. Backwards planning. But this is years of experience, 21 years of experience. Do you have good credit to get loans? So if you're doing it in a business, you're not doing it in your personal name. But if you have good credit, yes, you need good credit. Good credit is good all the time. But if you're doing it in a business, you don't have to be the guarantee every time. Sometimes your business can stand alone or you can have a partner. But you should have good credit. I'm not going to tell you have to have good credit, but you should. Good credit is something we can work on. We do have partners that we work with. Coach Joe actually did a credit company. He had a credit company before. We do give you hints on how to build your credit up because we want you to win. We want you to win. So credit, you need to get your credit up, but you don't have to have good credit to get a house. And I do have good credit. I do. All right. Let me go and give you gains since you asked this question. Everybody, tomorrow your homework assignment is call your bank and ask your bank, do they have secure lines of credit? A secured line of credit is when, if you got $1,000 in the bank, you say, I want a secure line of credit against a credit card, a secure line of credit card against $300 of that 1,000. So the 1,000 stay the bank, 300 going to be on hold. And then I want you to buy your gas with that money. Every month you buy gas with that money, you pay it off to $1. You pay it off to $1. And that's how you build your credit up fast. You just trick the company. You just trick the credit bureau. You just show the credit bureau you owe somebody money, but I don't care if the interest rate is 50%, right? 50% of $1, right? Come on now. You can't, it's still going to be pennies, right? I don't care if the interest rate 100%, right? It ain't nothing but $1. So look, do it, find out for yourself. Everybody that done it said, thank you, coach, for telling me that. So that's what I tell you to how to build your credit up quickly. My dad did that when I was 16 years old and I had my first job at Foot Locker. Kenneth Shoes. I worked at Kenneth Shoes and I worked at Foot Locker after that. But my dad gave me a secure, made my money. And once I got my money, he gave me a secure credit card. Again, my bank account, put $500 on the hold and I bought nothing but gas and I paid it off in full every month because I was 16 years old. But I'm telling you, if you're grown, keep a dollar balance. And pay it down to $1, let it carry over. You owe somebody money, that's how you build your credit up. Show that you owing somebody and you paying on it. All right. So that's one easy trick to build your credit up, to start working on your credit. All right, secured line of credit, credit card, bank, use it only for gas, pay it off to $1 balance every month for 3 months and watch how your credit jump up. Guys, I appreciate you all. Thank y'all for getting on. I appreciate you staying to the end. I have to go and spend time with my 2.5-year-old that I love so dear that I will not be seeing every day because I'll be in Louisiana, he'll be in Virginia. However, I'm spending as much time as possible with him, and I'm still dedicating my time to him. My mom down there with him. I flew my mom in. So for folks that was on the call last week, knew I was done with him and I was babysitting. He was screaming and yelling, playing and stuff. But mom got him downstairs. I'm up here on the 4th floor. We in a nice big old house. So his mom got a lovely home, right? 4 floors. So well, I'm on the 4th floor in the bedroom talking to you all, and I'm gonna get out of here and go spend time with him on the bottom floor and have fun and eat and everything. So thank you so much. It's a blessing to be on this call with y'all this long. Take care, be safe, get on my schedule. Appreciate you too. Thank you.